China is reeling under catastrophic floods as relentless monsoon rains continue to devastate vast parts of the nation. Day after day, the downpours have shown no mercy, leaving a trail of destruction that stretches from the remote highlands to the crowded urban centers. Entire towns have been submerged beneath rising waters. Roads and highways have been swept away as if they never existed, while bridges have collapsed under the sheer force of raging rivers. Families remain stranded on rooftops, clinging to hope, with limited access to food, clean drinking water, or even basic medical care. Authorities confirm that the death toll has already surpassed 700, and the numbers continue to rise as rescuers reach new areas. Hundreds more remain injured, missing, or cut off from the outside world. The hardest hit areas lie in China's mountainous provinces, where sudden cloudbursts triggered violent landslides. Whole neighborhoods have been buried beneath mud and rock, while valleys once filled with villages now lie silent and unreachable. Rescue teams, supported by helicopters and emergency workers, are racing against time to pull survivors from the wreckage. In many cases, however, dangerous weather conditions are slowing their progress. In some districts alone, over 100 lives have been lost, with dozens still unaccounted for. Volunteers and soldiers are braving collapsing terrain, flooded fields, and blocked mountain passes to deliver supplies and carry the injured to safety. Meanwhile, several of China's largest cities have ground to a halt. Torrential rains have turned bustling streets into rushing rivers, trapping cars and forcing residents to wade through waist-deep water. Major airports have faced cancellations and delays, public transportation systems are crippled, and widespread power outages have left millions in darkness. Hospitals across affected provinces are stretched beyond capacity, treating a wave of patients suffering from flood-related injuries, waterborne infections, and exhaustion. Doctors and nurses are working around the clock, but shortages of medicine and clean facilities are worsening the crisis. The government has issued new flood alerts for southern and central regions, urging citizens to remain vigilant as forecasts warn of further heavy downpours in the coming hours. Emergency shelters have been set up, yet many remain overcrowded, with desperate families searching for lost loved ones. The military has restored some electricity in the northwest and cleared key highways blocked by landslides, but countless rural villages remain completely cut off, isolated by swollen rivers and washed-out roads. Aid convoys struggle to reach them, facing the constant risk of fresh flooding and collapsing terrain. The economic toll is also becoming clearer. Farms and factories have been drowned beneath floodwaters, destroying crops, livestock, and livelihoods. Experts warn that recovery will take months, if not years, with enormous financial losses rippling through both local and national economies. For now, the priority remains survival. Rescue boats patrol submerged neighborhoods, helicopters drop supplies into unreachable valleys, and communities, though battered and grieving, continue to fight through one of the most punishing flood seasons in recent memory. This is not just a natural disaster. It is a test of endurance, solidarity, and resilience. The people of China are enduring a relentless battle against nature's fury, one that has already reshaped lives and landscapes forever. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to stay updated on major natural disasters from around the world. And above all, stay safe wherever you are. Do you want me to also add a timeline style, like on August 18th, on August 19th, to make it feel like a day-by-day unfolding news report? I know, no. China is enduring one of the most punishing flood seasons in its history. Relentless rains have pounded the land for weeks, and the disaster continues to spread like a chain reaction from the mountains to the lowlands. What began as heavy rainfall has now escalated into a nationwide crisis. Rivers have overflowed their banks, reservoirs are under extreme pressure, and entire landscapes have been reshaped by the force of water. In some provinces, familiar landmarks are gone, swallowed by torrents of mud and debris. Villages once filled with life are silent, their streets buried in silt. Schools, markets, and temples lie underwater. Families flee carrying only what they can hold, while others remain trapped signaling from rooftops for rescue boats to arrive. The confirmed death toll continues to climb beyond 700, but officials fear the real number is much higher. Communication lines remain cut in many rural areas, leaving countless communities unaccounted for. In mountainous provinces, cloudbursts triggered walls of mud that swept away everything in their path. Roads twisted and cracked, bridges collapsed, and valleys vanished beneath landslides. Rescuers described scenes of devastation where entire households disappeared overnight. In the Central Plains, farmlands that once supplied grain for millions are now vast lakes stretching as far as the eye can see. Farmers watch helplessly as months of hard work vanish in an instant. Agricultural experts warn of looming food shortages if recovery does not begin soon. Urban areas face a different struggle. In megacities, underpasses and subway lines have filled with water, trapping vehicles and forcing authorities to shut down critical transit systems. Emergency shelters overflow with families who have nowhere else to go. Children cry for missing parents, while elders sit in silence, exhausted from days without rest. Hospitals fight to manage overwhelming patient loads. Not only injuries and infections, but also outbreaks of fever, stomach illness, and respiratory conditions have emerged. Clean drinking water is scarce, and medical teams warn of a second crisis, disease if sanitation can not be restored quickly. The government has dispatched tens of thousands of soldiers, engineers, and volunteers. Dams are being reinforced, temporary bridges erected, and supply convoys pushed toward isolated districts. Yet progress is slow, and the scale of destruction far outpaces available resources. International aid has begun to arrive, with neighboring countries pledging support, sending medical teams, water purification units, and emergency supplies. Relief groups warn, however, that transporting aid into the hardest-hit zones remains nearly impossible due to washed-out infrastructure. Environmental scientists are also raising alarms. Weeks of unrelenting floods have destabilized soil across vast regions, increasing the risk of more landslides even after the rains stop. Reservoir levels remain dangerously high, and authorities fear that additional downpours could trigger dam failures, unleashing even greater devastation downstream. Amid all this, stories of courage shine through. Villagers form human chains to rescue neighbors swept away by currents. Rescue workers wade through chest-deep water to deliver food to stranded families. In one town, residents converted fishing boats into makeshift ambulances, carrying the injured to the nearest functioning hospital. But despite these efforts, the suffering remains immense. Crops are gone, homes are gone, livelihoods are gone. What remains is resilience, the determination of people to endure, rebuild, and carry on in the face of unimaginable hardship. China is now entering a critical moment. The coming weeks will decide whether the country can stabilize or whether the floods will carve yet deeper scars across its land and people. Stay connected as we continue to bring you updates on this unfolding disaster. Subscribe to this channel for the latest news on global natural events, and above all, stay safe wherever you may be.